Hello and welcome back. My name is V and today we're going to be watching some leaks and news from the Persona community, and I do think that this refers to Persona 6 or possibly Persona 4 or Persona 2 remakes. But My Life has just dropped a video a couple of days ago, and as a Persona fan, I absolutely owe it to myself to watch it and give you my thoughts on it as well, and I hope you'll enjoy it. If you happen to be new here on the channel, make sure to subscribe, leave a like on the video, and let me know in the comments how you feel about the news that we've just heard in the video. Presumably you watched through it all by now. And let me know in the comments how you feel about the future of Persona, what remakes you would like to see, and what you think is coming up in the next, hopefully few months, but more realistically, few years. Let's watch.
More Persona games? Check. Continued release cadence with the Persona series? Sign me up. Doubling down on further bolstering Atlus to ensure the continued quality of the Persona series going forward?
Jackpot.
With Persona's 30th anniversary rapidly approaching next year in 2026, Atlus and parent company Sega have announced huge new plans to continue the impressive upward trajectory of the Persona series. Thanks to Sega's recent quarterly earnings report, the publisher is doubling down on Atlus, along with the studios involved with the Sonic franchise and Ryuga Gotoku Studios,
of course,
known for their Like a Dragon series. We're going to be solely focusing on the report as it pertains to the Persona, Shin Megami Tensei, and Metaphor ReFantazio developer Atlus in this video, as what was announced here marks a bold move at ramping up the creative output of these juggernaut franchises. While no recent revelations have been made about the goings-on of Persona 6, Persona 4 Remake, and other Persona projects rumored to be in development since my last video, what was just announced by Sega is incredible news for its headlining games. And if you're like me who enjoys all these franchises, especially Atlus's games like Persona, this is massive. Throw your tarot cards over at the like button if you're pumped for Persona's 30th anniversary next year. Consider participating in my ongoing giveaway of what may likely be the greatest turn-based RPG of the year in Clair Obscur Expedition 33, and use my partner code at GamerSups to earn 10%
spoilies.
off
I'm not that far in Persona.
Flavor using my discount link, and you'll be rewarded with a complimentary waifu cup. So jump on the opportunity by hitting the link in the description. Let's get into this awesome new quarterly earnings report, Sega. Alright, my fellow fans of Persona and Sega. Sega recently discussed their plans during its quarterly earnings Q&A report for their upcoming fiscal year running between April 2025 and March 2026, outlining huge new changes to their strategy that leaves direct impacts on their three biggest franchises, Sonic, Like a Dragon, and specifically Atlus Persona. This is the focus of this video. The plan is currently being formulated, Sega states, but we expect the volume of new titles in full game to be lower than this fiscal year.
Okay.
In the context of the statement, full game is one that is not free to play, meaning that Sega won't be launching as many new titles between now and March 2026. This is entirely expected, seeing as we recently saw huge games like Persona 3 Reload, Metaphor ReFantazio, Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance, Sonic and Shadow Generations, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza Hawaii, Unicorn Overlord, and other big games.
There have been many good games.
Release all within a year. 2024 was an incredibly stacked year for Sega, so now their big strategy ahead rests in the following statement from Sega, as they plan to double down and reinforce the studios behind the games that are performing particularly. Atlus is an important studio for us to expand Japanese IPs overseas. We think it is necessary to strengthen studios involved with the Sonic and Like a Dragon IPs are also short of staff. We are looking to reinforce personnel through additional hiring and
That's good.
M&A,
means there's money.
And acquisition. This is amazing news for us Persona fans and fans of Like a Dragon and Sonic. especially in an industry suffering from widespread layoff. This is also a case of less is more, as Sega seems to be more interested in trimming down the fluff and focusing more on what it's successful at, creating awesome games. This new strategy in reinforcing its existing studios to release full games moving forward is an absolute win. It is also in this report that we see why Sega is reinforcing these studios in the first place. These studios saw record-breaking sales from their games over the past fiscal year, pointing to upwards of 20 million sales of these recent games, with significant growth of older Atlus games, like Persona 5 Royal and Persona 4 Golden, that have skyrocketed the popularity of the Persona series. While we haven't yet gotten the exact number of the Persona series sales from this recent quarterly earnings report, last year during Sega's annual integrated report for 2024 in November revealed that the Persona series has sold 23.5 million copies worldwide across both physical and digital. What makes this all the more impressive is that just a year prior, in June of 2023, Sega announced that the Persona series had sold 17.7 million copies, meaning that the franchise has sold 5.8 million games in less than a year and a half, marking a steep climb in popularity worldwide just these past 2 years alone for the Persona franchise. It was in the November 2024
and the game's already existing. That's huge.
That the recent growth of the Persona and Like a Dragon franchises is attributed to the multi-platform, simultaneous worldwide release addition to the remaster and spin-off title. It's just amazing to hear that Atlus and the Persona series have been skyrocketing in popularity recently, and you better believe that both the upcoming Persona 6 and Persona 4 Remake are going to continue propelling the Persona series to even greater heights. Tying all this back to the recent Sega quarterly earnings report just days ago, Sega's new strategy of honing down on what has worked with these studios and further strengthening them is a commitment to ensuring that these studios have absolutely everything they need to continue to release incredible games for years to come. And that is something that we should all be celebrating big time. Atlus also has a lot more going on than just Persona, as Shin Megami Tensei released its fastest selling game in Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance. The entirely new JRPG, Metaphor ReFantazio, solidified this new IP as being the fastest selling game in Atlus history, selling north of 1 million copies in a single day. While we don't yet have a clear indication of how many copies of Metaphor have sold since release, Sega reported in this recent quarterly earnings report that the game has seen sales that have been steadily increasing over time, with the company hoping to continue, quote, raising awareness of the title in the future so that it can reach even more players. While we don't have any concrete understanding for Metaphor going forward at this point, director Katsura Hashino did mention that he and Studio Zero are already working on an unknown game, and considering the success of Metaphor Tazio, I wouldn't be surprised to see another game release in this IP. In fact, earlier this year, various insiders pointed at an extended re-release of the game being developed for a release in the years to come. The name Metaphor ReFantazio told, containing an additional dungeon, party members, and expanded element. Of course, time will tell if this game gets its re-release, but considering Hashino's role on Personas 3, 4, and 5, those games all got extended re-release, so it wouldn't be far-fetched to think this re-release streak could apply to a game like closing out the final.
I don't like that practice.
From Sega's quarterly report, Sega's president recently revealed that the company is looking into the possibility of launching a subscription service for its games. We're thinking something and discussing something, but we cannot disclose right now, President Sumi. I don't know about you all, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see Sega start their own subscription service, seeing as so many big publishers have already done so. I'll keep buying these awesome games going forward, but this is admittedly pretty big news for Sega if they do have a subscription service in the future.
So I'm not sure exactly how that would work, and if they're considering to add existing titles into this new subscription service, if one was to exist. But I wonder if with a subscription service, you would simply have let's say monthly access to all of these games, which would be nice, but hopefully, everyone else who's bought the game just gets to play it. So I think that from what I understand, you could either purchase a single game or have a subscription where all of these games would be available, which would actually be a fantastic deal for personas because they are so long. There's so many of them, and I think that if you feel burnt out from one game and want to play a different one, it's not a bad deal, and makes you more of a that franchise fan, because at that point you are paying for monthly access to their titles, which I don't think would be a bad idea at all if you don't want to just invest big money into a single game at its release. I think that obviously there will be people who are not particularly happy about that, but there's always a yes and a no argument for any decision. So I think that it could be really interesting, and with Sega having all of these titles, not just Atlus, but all of these other games that are not just games for us adults essentially, but for kids as well, it could be a cool family package. I mean, I have almost a 6-year-old, and I can see myself being subscribed to something like that, so that we have all of these games at our disposal. And I think Sega is one of those publishers that essentially is able to offer something like that I personally, as a parent, would be interested in. But let me know in the comments if this is something that you would be potentially paying for as well, if you think it's worth it, or you would stick to the model of just buying separate games.
So let me know in the comments if you would be interested.
Let him know in the comments as well.
For Sega games. Sega is on fire with their recent re-releases, and especially with Persona's massive explosion in popularity over the last few years, Sega is doubling down on strengthening these studios even more so that us fans continue to get more out of the series that we love. Sometimes less is more, and Sega has a clear understanding of that. So while we may have to wait for 2026 to roll around to get that much anticipated Persona 6 during Persona's 30th anniversary, the wait will likely be more than worth, with a remake of Persona 4 heavily rumored to be in development, along with Atlus themselves stating that they would love to revisit Persona 1 and 2 in the future. Sega's commitment to ensuring Atlus and its various other studios' success is nothing short of incredible. Let me know your thoughts on this recent Sega quarterly report in the comments, and follow me over to this video as we go through an extensive look at everything confirmed and rumored to be coming to the Persona series for its upcoming 30th anniversary.
So I have a few things that I wanted to say about this video, and I didn't really want to talk over him or pause too much. I'm gonna be honest, I did expect this video to be a little bit more focused on the potential Persona 4 and Persona 2 remake, and maybe something new about Persona 6. My overall prediction is that we're going to get Persona 6 news sometime during the Summer Game Fest or something like that. And from what I know from before, or I think I know, is that they said that Persona 4 remake would essentially come after Persona 2 remake. So I'm not sure if this was a leak, if this was confirmed or not, but I do have a vague memory of them mentioning Persona 2 as well. As someone who's never played Persona 2, and I'm kind of dying to explore that game as well, I would personally love to see that, but I think at some point, the curiosity is gonna kill the cat, and I'm gonna go and play Persona 2 because I want to experience all of the games within the franchise. And there's just so much to play that there's never any shortage of Persona games for me. There's a lot that I haven't explored yet. So at some point, I'll be happy to play Persona 2, regardless of whether there is a remake or not. I think that hirings are always good news, because for every company, hirings means that there is more money to invest into, because workforce is essentially an investment. And I'd love to see that. Not sure if they're hiring worldwide or, in Japan, but if you've been a game developer or anything that they're looking for, maybe this is something that will interest you, and maybe you can apply for some of these jobs if you've been into the gaming industry. From what I understand, this would be more of a game development position rather than community management or social media management or something like that. as they are also, of course, a part of the gaming industry and game development, but I think that this is more focused on the workforce that creates and engineers games. Overall, I'm very excited, and I think that if we get more of the Persona remakes that look in any way, shape, or form like Persona 3 Reload or better, we are in for a treat. Persona 3 Reload is my favorite game. I cannot get enough of that game. I love watching it, I speedrun it, I talk about it, I live it, I breathe it, and it is my favorite piece of media that's been released in the past probably 10 or so years. I think that the game is fantastic, and I would love to see more games get that kind of treatment. Persona 4 was absolutely a charming experience, and to see a remake that would probably have a lot of quality of life features like Persona 3 Reload has is an absolute treat, and I would adore the experience. This is overall really, really good news, and I'm pretty happy about it. Let me know what you think, and of course, thanks so much to Fund My Life for making this video and reporting on the report of the quarterly earnings. I am looking forward to the next video, and if you are as well, make sure to go to the original channel that you can find in the description. Leave a like, subscribe there as well, and if you're not subscribed here, make sure to sub, leave a like on the video for some good luck, and let me know in the comments what you're most excited for. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care and bye bye.